Development on Microsoft Flight Simulator keeps moving forward with plenty to look forward to. Sim Update 12 is now just a few weeks out, the Antonov An-225 is heading to Xbox, and World Update 13 is scheduled for next month. Plus, there's also the regular flight sim news, so let's jump in and look at that, starting with the latest roadmap. Sim Update 12 then is set to be a huge update, and will be especially good for Xbox users thanks to the introduction of WASM support. This update will finally allow for complex craft to be added to the Xbox marketplace, and that includes both craft from third parties as well as Microsoft themselves. It will also allow for the Antonov An-225 to finally make an appearance on the console. There's a number of other improvements that can be expected to see in the update as well. A few of these include installation optimization, which will hopefully improve the sim update process. There's a bunch of stability and memory optimizations coming as well, although not too many specific details on that. And moving on to the subject of aircraft, Sim Update 12 will increase the number of engines that the sim can support. Currently, this is set to just 4, but it's going to take a rather impressive jump to support for 16 engines per aircraft. Meanwhile, helicopters will also be seeing some improvements thanks to the ability to adjust the throttle correlator and engine trimmer. Additionally, it will finally be possible to switch off the governor on turbine helicopters. Now, interestingly, and something I'm especially keen to see, is the mention of Scenery Gateway system. This is something that simmers have been waiting for a long while now. The good news is that it's showing on the latest roadmap for Sim Update 12. I'm not 100% convinced at this point it will make Sim Update 12, we'll have to see, but it's looking like it's closer than ever. Now, whilst the roadmap calls it the Scenery Gateway, the recent developer Q&A actually calls it the World Hub, and this is what developer Martial had to say about it. We're going to introduce a new tool, which is called internally, and I think that will be the final name, World Hub. The World Hub is a tool that allows people to do some editing on the world, especially on airports. So basically, everybody who sees some discrepancies between what we have in the sim and what is intended should be able to do a tweak using this tool. So far, this tool is in test. It's going to be shared with more than 50 people, and I think that's actually during the beta test period mentioned on the roadmap. And if everything's going well, it will be shared with many of you. So this really is a very interesting premise, at least I find it to be so. It would allow the community, at least parts of the community, to directly edit parts of the sim. Now this may be airports or may include other scenery as well, we'll have to see. But yes, one of the first times I think out there where the community can directly get involved with making changes to the game. Now I assume that Microsoft and Asobo will have to review these changes before they're committed to the sim. But if you can expand the number of people working on things, then it really does bode well for the future and would really allow the game to become closer to a one-to-one recreation of Earth. Whilst still on the subject of user-generated content, it seems Microsoft are still planning on adding a freeware section to the marketplace. We can see this on the feedback snapshot list. Now there's no date for this yet, unfortunately, but it's good to see that this is still in the works. Moving on to other Sim 12 related features, it's been confirmed that a new assistance option will be made available for turbulence intensity. Now this is something that the developers have spoken about previously, but it's good to see that it's going to arrive with Sim Update 12. It's an option that will give simmers the ability to reduce or disable the visual bounce from turbulence. So it's going to be a nice addition for those simmers who really don't want to see their screen bouncing around quite so much. Now, the Sim Update 12 is currently available as a beta test. This has an optional open invite. There's instructions in the video description below on how to join this test if you want to get involved. Alongside this update, when it does arrive towards the end of the month, or maybe even next week, there will be a new plane. This is the Antonov An-2. Now this is a really interesting looking plane that had its first flight all the way back in 1947. The plane will be released under Microsoft's famous Flyer banner. So that's most of what we know so far about Sim Update 12. Looking further to the future, however, there's still plenty to come throughout the rest of the year. Of course, there's World Update 13 arriving in April, currently untitled. Further afield, we have a whole bunch more world updates, not to mention a few city updates set for this year as well. The first of those coming in June, and there will be 2 more following up in July and August. Now, as Microsoft have said that they will be reworking London for one of these, hopefully one of these at least, and they are also reworking a bunch of other cities around the world as well. There's also another surprise set for, well, 2 surprises actually, set for later in this year, August and November. So, with the first quarter of the year nearly done, there's plenty ahead for the other 3 quarters of 2023. Now, do let me know in the comment section below which particular aspects you're looking forward to for MSFS this year. I'd love to hear from you, do let me know. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.